So to continue, I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but if this past year alone doesn't illustrate to anyone just what an epic exploding sewage tank of a fail America is. Who is not rationally convinced at this point? This is not mere cynicism talking. As for something like Watergate, which can be called, in comparison, a mere blip on the goddamn radar at this point. Well, you still have these dumb normies coping. These conservatives, people with conservative residual conservatism, hanging on to anything they can, clutching at every goddamn straw. It's over. It's done. Kaput. Do you hear? It's not working. It never has worked. Well, you talk about democracy. This is a constitutional republic. Well, that's a fail too. It was always a fail. We cling to these obsolete Anglo-political forms. We still have a colonies mentality, which is why we were ruled by Anglos and Jews in the first place, I think. You may say that that's blasphemous of me. I don't care. Frost on the ground. Must have dipped down about 10 degrees here. I know it was about 30 before, but anyhow, stop shooting yourself up with the heroin of false hope. You need to kick that shit. Because what does false hope do? It acts pretty much the same way. It makes you feel real good as it sucks the goddamn vitamins and minerals right out of you. Fucks with your heart rate. Makes you sensitive to light. The light of truth. The cold, hard, nasty, gleaming truth. Which is, after all, one of nature's oldest disinfectants. So kick that shit. Wean yourself off it. That's what the black pill is for. To purge you of that. The red pill, it may initially make you very sad. It may fill you with extreme disorientation, nausea, shortness of breath. And then, the red pill will also make you really homicidally fighting mad. But what am I even talking about? I'm not exactly a big fan of using these internet terms, comparing processes of inner enlightenment or modes and moods of dealing with this stuff as, just calling it pills. Fuck the pills. America needs to get off pills. We are witnessing the collapse of a civilization and the death of an old fucking prostitute of a country. One that's brimming with Jew AIDS, leaking out of its baggy old puss. So, I mean, I don't know. If I was a Christian, I would say, come out from them, therefore, and be separate. Which is what's going to happen. And I'm glad. Going to need about 200 years of war and plague and famine and just hard times. All the bullshit getting scraped away. People will be forced to learn how to hunt and fish and farm again. They will have to learn how to either maintain essential technologies themselves with brains and brawn and cooperation, or no one's going to get clean water, and you'll have to learn how to dig a well yourself and pump up or disinfect fresh water yourself, how to dig your own privy, etc. And that will be good. A back to basics thing. Perhaps I'll be lucky in that I might not be around to see this. Because it will probably be a time of unimaginable suffering and warfare. But, you know, at certain times in European history, total disasters like this were not such a bad thing. I mean, after the worst of the Black Death years, there was a change in the countryside. The great estates were often abandoned, and peasantry, I mean, despite the anarchy and stuff going on there, the peasantry that survived found themselves, with more personal freedom, more responsibility as well, but it shook things up and freshened things, I would say. Ugh. I'll blow up my snoot. But, and there were other economic changes as well. A lot of folks in the towns and cities died off just because people were all clustered together like that. Believe it or not, you're at less risk of disease in the country, even if you live most of your life, sleeping with the critters, in a big pile of hay, or, even if those people back then, even if their hygiene was bad, they still weren't living all packed together like in the city. And their immune systems were probably actually pretty robust. It's just that they had never encountered anything like this before. So that would explain the initial high death rate, which was very high. But, again, it's hard times are always a opportunity for us, I think. I mean, what does a wise man do? He learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from every other man's mistakes. You see what I'm saying? The wiser man makes as few mistakes of his own as possible and learns from everyone else's, so he doesn't make them in the same way that they did. Anyhow, does anyone here want to know what I am going to fix up for Thanksgiving? I've got all kinds of good stuff in my fridge. If I sound fat, it's because, it's the holidays. I wouldn't be surprised if I get about 10. Not that that's a good thing. But yeah, I've got all kinds of good stuff in my fridge. And what's it gonna be? Meat, nothing but meat. Smoked ham. And by that I mean actual ham. Not just a big hunk of processed shit with no bone in it. You know? No, this is, believe it or not, kiddies, ham comes from pigs. From dead pigs. And I intend to make use of such. And I've got some back straps, some flank steaks, and some ground, like venison sausage. Yeah, I got a little bit of cod, a little bit of salmon. They're not store-bought either. They might be a little bit old. I obviously don't want to eat anything burned. I used to work in a freezer. I know how quickly that stuff can actually go if you're not smart about it. You have to rotate your own product, you know. And, well, I've got a couple jars of Applejack and some spruce shine. Yes, it's made out of actual spruce tips. So it has kind of a citrusy, piney flavor to it. And it is hard shit. I like the Applejack much better as far as liquor goes. Because each one has a nice fat old cinnamon stick in there. Which is not too rich. And it's not too sugary either. Anyhow. Nice and warm. Whole sweet hole. Welcome to my humble commode.